Hello, and welcome to this presentation on AppStudio for ArcGIS, a licensing overview. This is part of the AppStudio Jumpstart video series. Today we're going to discuss the different licensing options for AppStudio for ArcGIS, as well as licensing the ArcGIS Runtime SDK. And then we will touch upon a few specific items when it comes to publishing and distributing your apps. AppStudio licensing is based on ArcGIS users in an ArcGIS organization, whether that be ArcGIS Online or Enterprise. The standard user types in these organizations are Viewer, Editor, Field Worker, Creator, and GIS Professional. AppStudio Player is available on phones, tablets, and desktops for iOS, Android, Mac, Windows, and Linux. After a user has logged into AppStudio Player, they can download and run any AppStudio apps within the player itself. This is a very unique and powerful way of distributing native applications through an ArcGIS organization. AppStudio Player is available for all user types. The AppStudio for ArcGIS license gives you access to the AppStudio desktop tools. With this, you can configure apps from templates, write code and develop new apps, and upload apps to your organization and share them with others via the AppStudio Player. AppStudio for ArcGIS is available to all Creator and GIS user types in an organization. This means that if you can create new content in your ArcGIS org, such as web maps and web apps, then you can also create and share custom native apps. The AppStudio Developer Edition license enables a few key capabilities. It gives you access to the Cloud Make service. This is a build service hosted in the cloud that allows you to create separate install executables for all the supported AppStudio platforms. With these executables, you can publish your apps to public app stores, such as the Google Play and Apple App Store, or distribute them throughout an enterprise using mobile deployment management systems. The AppStudio Developer Edition license also gives you access to some of our advanced enterprise templates, such as Survey 123, Quick Capture, and others. The AppStudio Developer Edition license is available with a paid ArcGIS developer subscription. To learn more about ArcGIS developer subscriptions, visit developers.arcgis.com. That covers the licensing information you need to know to get started with AppStudio. I'll now cover more licensing options that may come into play depending on what functionality you add to your apps and how you deploy them. The ArcGIS Runtime SDK is what powers the mapping capabilities of AppStudio apps, and it is licensed separately from the AppStudio product. The ArcGIS Runtime brings spatial capabilities such as map viewing, data editing, working with maps offline, routing, and analysis. There are different levels of the runtime licensing. First, we have the light level. This gives us the ability to view maps and scenes, display data such as layers and packages, find places on a map, perform routing and directions, and editing of public data services. Many of the apps developed with AppStudio are using the Light Runtime license. Next, we have Basic. This does everything that Light can do, and it adds the ability to edit private data, author a map, and do navigation. And then we have Standard, which does all that Basic can do, and it also adds the ability to access local data files directly, including various raster formats, and it gives us the ability to edit file geodatabases. The Advanced Runtime license gives us the ability to edit enterprise geodatabases. But note, at this time, the Advanced license and directly editing enterprise geodatabases is not supported with AppStudio. I'll now discuss deployment of these runtime licenses to your apps. The license can be deployed as a unique license key which is embedded in your app, or you can enable a license when a user signs in to your app with an ArcGIS account. To enable a light license of the runtime, you can deploy your app with a free license key. In fact, this is as easy as clicking a button in the settings of your app when developing with AppStudio. This can also be enabled if you sign into the app with a viewer user type. The basic level of runtime is enabled with a paid deployment license key, or if the user signs in with a editor or field worker user type. The standard version of Runtime is also enabled with a paid deployment license key, or if the user signs in with a Creator or GIS Professional Basic user type. And lastly, the advanced version of Runtime can be enabled with a paid deployment license key, or if the user signs in with a GIS Professional user type at the standard or advanced level. Again, the advanced version of Runtime is not available for AppStudio apps. There is also some specialty runtime functionality that is enabled through extensions such as the Analysis, StreetMap Premium, and Utility Network extensions for Runtime. Visit developers.arcgis.com for more information about ArcGIS Runtime extensions. If you're going to publish your AppStudio apps to an app store, you should be aware that Apple and Google require a developer account. Apple requires that you sign up for an Apple Developer Program account, either as an individual or as a team member. And Google requires an individual or team signs up for a Google Developer account. The last licensing I'm going to talk about is not common for AppStudio developers, but is something you need to consider if these scenarios apply to you. AppStudio is built on a framework from the Qt company, and a Qt commercial license is required if you're going to do one of the following: charge money for your app, display advertisements in your app, or if you require the full set of developer tools from the Qt company for doing tasks like a local make or a local build of your apps. For more information about Qt commercial licenses, visit the qt.io website. This video has gone into extensive detail on a number of licensing considerations when building apps with AppStudio. But I want to emphasize that with just an AppStudio license, you can build and deploy great mapping apps into your organization using AppStudio Player. And with an AppStudio Developer Edition license, you can publish apps to public app stores. I hope this video was helpful. Please keep your eyes out for more AppStudio Jumpstart videos. Thank you for watching.